Hello and welcome back. This is Nom Nom and we are once again in Oxygen Not Included. This is the Aridio Mark III base on the Aridio asteroid with oppressive heat, and there's some heat. We actually have a couple of cooler areas down here that we found some geysers in. We have a polluted water vent over here, which I'm loath to open, although I think I might use it to grow foods that require polluted water. And over here we have this natural gas geyser, which we finished tapping in the last episode. We now have 55, nearly, let's say mid-50s anyways, kilograms of natural gas pumping over here, which is fantastic. I have not had a chance to analyze this geyser, so I don't know when it's going to go idle. But my other natural gas geyser is coming back online in 6.3 cycles. Currently there is very little natural gas to use from that one. Let's see, things that I'm doing here. We've got the 3 natural gas generators wired up to this one battery set to, let's make that 20% so we don't ever go powerless. I do have one Weeswort down here just to try and keep this area cool-ish, and I'm probably going to put that into its own dedicated hydrogen bath, which is another project we're working on up here. So I have this Weeswort that used to be up in this bathroom over here, which is also very warm. But I decided to bathe it in hydrogen. So we have up here, which I think is fully hydrogen now. It is. And I'm going to go ahead and insulate that in. And make sure they're not delivering that anymore. Okay. So we have here a hydrogen loop. It's not a hydrogen loop yet. It will be. What will be a hydrogen loop, cooling this area here so that I can grow some dust caps. I should be able to get 2 rows of dust caps in here eventually. And I've got this farm station in here to make this a greenhouse. So now I do need to get some hydrogen into that pipe. It's going to require quite a bit of piping, but we will go ahead and run that from, we'll run it from here. Okay, we'll run it like this, and okay, there we go. We now have this bridge. So the out from the upper tank is going to go down and into this loop. The loop needs direction, which I did fail to give it. I'll go ahead and deconstruct this piece of pipe right here, and then we'll go ahead and put a bridge there so that this pipe knows which direction to flow. Like so. Okay, this is going to start getting hydrogen at a slow pace, just as we get overflow from this. Completed oxygen system over here is good though. We have water coming in at looks like 11 degrees, so we're kind of wasting some of that cooling. What I should do, because the air comes out at 60 degrees no matter what, so really what I want to do is I want to radiate pipe this. We'll just do it there so that this whole area gets chilled down, so when that 60-degree oxygen comes out, it gets cooled as it passes through all this cold area here. That cold water is coming from down here. It's coming out of this tank here at around 70 degrees. 67. It's giving up a lot of its heat. Well, it's not anymore because this room is really warm now. It was giving up a lot of its heat to get this room up over 60 degrees, so my slicksters produce slickster babies and not long-haired slicksters, since I don't want long-haired slicksters. Easy for me to say, long-haired slicksters. That water then comes through a loop here where it gets cooled, and once it gets a certain temperature. Once it's below a certain temperature, it is allowed out, and once it comes out, obviously it goes up. The only thing consuming it up here really, well, this tank is consuming it. If we look here, we have some relatively cool water. There was a bunch of warm water in there, so now it's getting added to this cooler water. Anyways, this tank will fill up, this liquid vent will overpressure, and other than that, the only thing consuming the water is these electrolyzers. It looks like I do not have enough aluminum. We'll go ahead and queue up a couple of crafts of aluminum there. I'm actually out of aluminum ore, so we're going to just do a quick little dig. There's some nice aluminum ore there. You can get that. Actually take all that. And where else have we got some aluminum laying around? That's a little harder to get to. Alright, we'll go ahead and do this. There we go. That's lots of aluminum. And my dupes actually don't have a huge amount of jobs to do right now, so they're getting into some of this work pretty quick, which is nice. I'm going to go ahead and sweep this up also. Printing pod went off. Let's take a look. We will take that bristleberry. We have 9.9 kcals of food. That's not really a lot. So that 4,000, 5,000 almost kcals that we have is enough for half a cycle. Not fantastic, so we do have this food shortage going on. Taking a look over at my critter egg situation. Looks like I've got some pip eggs I can fry up. I don't really want to fry up any larva eggs because I'm still trying to increase the number of slickster larvae that I have. This guy is incubating and lullabied, so that's good. And I've only got, I don't know how many hatches have I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hatches. So having trouble getting my hatch count up. I was dumping some excess hatches down here. I don't see any now, so I'm not sure if they just expired. Not sure. Taking a look though, I want to look at this cooling loop, how it's going. We're doing, you know, it's about halfway full. And it's bringing the temperature down, which is great. These dust caps, these tiles are really warm at 35 degrees, so it's going to take a while to bring these dust cap temperatures down. The air down here is carbon dioxide, which is not a good cooling medium. So I might throw, in fact, let's go ahead and throw down a couple of temperature shift plates. What is that made out of? Dirt? How about not dirt? Temperature shift plates. Yeah, we can do aluminum ore. And that should help a lot. Up here, the hydrogen is coming in at 32 degrees. It's coming out at 30 degrees. This whole thing is going to take a while to cool down, but it's definitely cooling down. Okay, where was that other Wheezewort at? Down here. So down here, I'm going to go ahead and put in a manual airlock right here. I'm going to dig that out. And this is going to be a little risky maneuver here. I want to build that. If I can build that. Oops. Yeah. I'm gonna end up letting out some natural gas, but I shouldn't be letting out too much natural gas. We'll go ahead and just put this at 200 for now. Try and lower this pressure even more. At least we got to it before this thing reactivated. So we want to lower this pressure below this carbon dioxide pressure. It's going to try and switch places because natural gas is lighter than carbon dioxide. But they got to that pretty quick. Looks like we didn't get any natural gas escaping, so that's great. And I'm going to set this to 500. Oh, 500, not 5,000. Taking a look at what gases we have in here. We do still have some carbon dioxide down here. Probably never going to get out of there, actually, with the setup that I've got. That CO2 is going to live there forever, till the end of days. Alright, what I'm doing here is I'm going to just walk this up to here. Farm tile this in. We'll do farm tile right there. Go ahead and make that one wider. You see where I'm going with this? We're just doing another Weezewort setup. And actually, taking a look at gas. This canister emptier, I'm going to need to put that right there. So I think I'm going to cancel that. We'll go ahead and fill it with gas and then build the farm tile. Looks like that's the way to go, given that I didn't give myself really enough room. I just wanted it in line here. And actually, let's take a look. Did I do the other one 3 high? I did do the other one 3 high. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Hopefully I don't get too much chlorine. I don't really care. I mean, that chlorine's not going to hurt me down here. They're in Atmo suits. They don't care. I don't care. We're going to have to dig that out. Go ahead and do that 2 wide. Alright, down here we're up to 51, so we're actually going down. This thing has gone dormant, so I knew that would happen eventually. And it looks like we've got a mix of gases in here. I am going to we'll leave that at 500. I'm actually going to send some dupes in here, so I'm going to deconstruct this. What I want to do is I want to mop that up. Actually, what's the pressure in here? I wonder if I could pump this into a vacuum. I think I might end up doing that. What do I got here? Carbon dioxide, polluted oxygen. Let's go ahead and send deodorizer right here. I love that overlay, by the way. This gas overlay, this is a mod. It's awesome. Really lets me know what's going on. Holy cow, there's 10 kilograms of oxygen up here. This one little oxyfern, before it got apparently overpressured. Wow. Yeah, he'll go up till 10,000. So he would have kept going if this was open. Maybe I should just open that. You do you, little oxyfern. That's crazy. See, this overlay lets me know how much gas there was. That's really good. All right, this down here doesn't run that often just because it's always max gas pressure. I think it's time to relocate my piping for my Atmosuit docks. So currently I have this pump right here that is pumping out, let's take a look. Pumping out oxygen for the Atmosuit docks. Currently backed up, of course, because they're full. And then sending anything it doesn't want over here. I'm just going to move that whole setup up here. I'm actually going to account for being able to do 2 pumps. There we go. This should always be oxygen. There's no dupes hanging out up here to spit out CO2. So I'm not going to worry about filtering that. And if the occasional CO2 or polluted oxygen blob gets into my Atmosuit docks, I'll deal with the damage when it comes. But that lets me deconstruct some of this stuff that requires power. Alright, go ahead and clean up those wires. Not even sure what all those wires are doing there. Not sure. I don't remember what I had over here. Oh, the oxalite production, I think. Ventilation, we'll go ahead and clear that up. That up. And that. Alright. Alright, how's this loop doing? Looks like I've got some dusk caps growing, which is great. I'm going to go ahead and copy some settings here. I don't think I have more dusk caps. Yikes. Quick happy there. I do not have any more fungal spores, so until these guys drop or I find some more, that's going to be it. And take a look at this vent. Yeah, this vent is backed up now, actually, so I can go ahead and deconstruct this bridge. And what I'll end up doing, actually, is I'll end up using this hydrogen. I'll pipe it eventually down here. So we're just going to be moving hydrogen all over the place, and then we'll deconstruct that pipe when we don't need it anymore. Ventilation, though, we're going to go ahead and put that canister emptier right there. They just haven't gotten to these errands, which is fine. I think I'm going to go ahead and try and... I can dig that up through the angle and then put a tile there. That'd be great. I did get the pinch row farm going, and there's also some water weed in here. I think what I want to do is lower this part and maybe put some water in here, put a pip in here, and then try. It is currently 91 tiles. Maybe 98 tiles, so that's going to be too many. We'll just go ahead and do that. That should be fine. Alright, then I need a bottle emptier. And we'll just empty some salt water there. I may need to get some salt water. I have 3 kilograms. That's going to be plenty. I've got salt water somewhere. Okay, we're at 700 kcals. Let's see what we've got going on for eggs. I did just let that go for a while. We'll do a couple of pip eggs. And I've got 4 larva eggs going now. That's great. But what I don't see is I do not see any hatchling eggs. Come on, guys. You're not giving me the eggs I need. Alright, the hatchling egg thing is incubating. How long is this active for? 20% of the day. And it's priority 7. So hopefully somebody gets over here and lullabies that thing. Taking a look at skills. I have 2 ranchers. But let's go ahead and check the priorities. Ranching. Yeah, we'll go ahead and bump it to priority for Ruby, and hopefully that'll get us back in ranching shape. I did see something the other day that I really liked, actually. Just going to put a door and an airflow tile here. Now this ranch is 96 tiles, so this will bring it down to 93 tiles. But what happens then is, okay, that's good. Get over there, get over there, get over there. No, no. Okay. What happens is you end up having them all stuck on one side, and even though the ranch is still 93 tiles big, when they go to groom them, they're all over here on the right. So these guys over here on the left, I mean, sure, until they die, they're going to be over there. But, yeah, it'll reduce the amount of time that I have to worry about them summoning or getting summoned to the grooming station. You can't do this with pips, of course, because pips will just walk right over anything that you put in their way. But same with Drekos, because they climb on the walls. But it could work with Slicksters also. So my Slicksters here that have a tendency to be, you know, way over here, and I'm waiting and waiting and waiting for them to come over, I could do the same thing. I may do that. We'll see how well this works. Whoa. This thing's getting overheated. Oh, yeah. Yikes. Yeah, this thermal aqua tuner is just getting a tad warm. We're getting a bunch of overheat damage. I think it's time to move that thing. Where to, though? Alright, well, it looks like I have this area dug out, and I've already got the power line, trunk line going through here. And I do want to get some petroleum up and running. So let's take a look at refinement. Petroleum. Alright, I'm going to need an oil refinery. The oil refinery is going to spit out petroleum and natural gas, so I'm definitely going to want to put this behind closed doors. We'll go ahead and put it. Why can't I put it there? Because there's a dash of salt vine. Really? Thanks, Pips. We'll go ahead and get rid of those dash of salt vines. Also, then I'm going to put a mechanized airlock here. We'll go ahead and put it here, I think. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll wall that up, and then we'll get this thing built behind here. So, yeah, I actually had... I must have... There's petroleum in there. The only way for this to turn into petroleum is if it gets... the crude oil gets over 400 degrees. If it got over 400 degrees, I assure you this thermal aqua tuner and everything around here would be destroyed. So I'm not sure... unless I had a molten slickster hatch in here that I didn't catch, I'm not sure where that petroleum came from. But not a big deal. We'll figure that out. All right. Yeah, build that. Take care of that. Over here, I built. Down here, I have not built this thing yet. Go ahead and get that built with some priority. Wow. All the oxygen in this area just flooded in here. This whole thing is oxygen? Really? Huh. Interesting. Should probably get hydrogen in there, yeah? Help it cool down. Might do that. Might punch a hole in this and just let the whole thing fill up with hydrogen. Alright. Let's get a priority 6 on that thing also. Get that dug up so I can put an insulated tile there. I just don't like having that hole. This thing down here is down to 44 kilograms, and this thing over here is coming up in 1 cycle. Right, we're going to give this a P8. Hurry up, dupes. Oh, also, this should have been... Nope. Alright, P7. Get thee done, dupes. Alright, we're going to say you can take all of the hydrogen, priority 6. This I imagine is going to take a while to get done, primarily because they need to get through this airlock to get hydrogen, and the only place to get hydrogen right now is way up here. Alright, but it's looking good other than that. Alright, what have we got going then? Looks like the power situation is handled. I am using quite a bit of this natural gas power. If we watch this, this one battery, the only battery on this back end of the system, it's coming down pretty quickly. But I'm not using coal anymore, which is good because I was down to 724 kilograms of coal. It's actually disabled right now. I do have this wood burner still active, and the wood burner is on just this one circuit. There's no automation on a wood burner. Oh, there is. I thought there was not. So this is good. I don't even remember doing that. So this wood burner only runs when this battery is low. And this battery is actually on the back end of the system. So this battery is actually on the same circuit as this battery, if I'm looking at this correctly. Because it's on the heavy watt wire? Yeah. Which is on the same circuit as this battery. So I actually have 3 batteries. So when we saw how quickly this battery was draining down, it's actually draining down 3 batteries. So that's draining down very quickly. I'm gonna need to I'm gonna need to look into alternative power, because I don't think natural gas is gonna do it. Even with 2 geysers, I think I'm gonna struggle with power. Okay, so I was taking a look down here, and obviously this aqua tuner is cooking everything that's in this area. So I've decided to go ahead and destroy these gas reservoirs. I think they're all made of iron. Don't need them anymore. They were holding CO2 for me at one point, but they're extraneous now. Go ahead and destroy all those pipes associated with those as well. Okay, that looks good. you know, I complained that my dupes didn't have any jobs to do, so now they've got numerous jobs to do. This thing keeps getting damaged. I'm going to go ahead and deconstruct it and rebuild it as gold amalgam. And I queued up some work over here for my dupes to build out a metal refinery, which is going to take a crude oil, heat it up, send it into the refinery, and spit out some really hot petroleum. Down here, they've delivered some of my hydrogen. The pressure on it's really high because this oxygen pressure is really high. I'm going to go ahead and open this door to let that oxygen out. Should help fill this room with hydrogen. This thing is active, which is great. They actually never got around to this pinch pepper plant, so I'm not going to worry about it now. I don't want them to accidentally breach this thing. This compressor is filling up our natural gas. We've got over 4,000. It's 2,000 over here, 1,000 over here. So, yeah, this is working as designed. And this pump, oh, I need to destroy this. Actually, I need to destroy this. So the gas is coming in one of multiple ways. The way I'm going to do this is, this will be our primary, and then if this line runs dry, then this line will feed our system. This should work. Hopefully this gas will flow eventually out. It can stay there indefinitely, I don't really care. But now this is my primary feed. We'll see when this runs next, which should be soon. Yeah, should be here in a second. We'll see where the gas flows. Yep, so there we go. This is our primary now. When this one runs out, it'll kick over to our backup. Once the backup is running, then this should eventually toggle, take gas from alternating directions and empty up. Then I can go back and destroy that pipe. Door is open. Hydrogen is pushing down a little bit. That's okay. That can take a lot of hydrogen. I have no problem with that. This actually might turn into another slickster ranch. I don't see any reason why I couldn't do that. More slicksters equals less carbon dioxide and more food. I'm fine with all that. Speaking of food, we only have 2,400 kcals. I think we have bristle blossom seeds also. Blossom seeds, we have 2. They grow bristle blossoms. Bristle blossoms require temperatures from between 5 to 30. They also require water. What about sleet wheat? Oh, there's no sleet wheat. There's no sleet wheat on this map. What's the other one? Pincha. Pincha pepper plants take polluted water at 35 kilograms a cycle. I've got this thing down here, which is going to kick out so much polluted water. I'm going to go ahead and uncover it. Actually, it's hot polluted water, right? At 30 degrees, that's actually not bad. It's cooler than it is down here. I'm going to go ahead and open this vent. It'll overpressure before I have a real problem with that. And then I can maybe... It's a little too warm down here. No, actually, what did I just say? Pinch pepper nut likes 35 to 85. So this is actually good temperature down here, even if this water is going to be a little too cold. So that actually might help. Might keep things in check. So maybe I'll even make this a farm. I can grow my pinch pepper nuts in here. I'll need some doors. But the doors don't need to be there and there. There and there. Why not? But the doors don't need to be closed. So that works. Actually, I don't need those doors. I can just do pneumatic doors. There and there. We'll keep it all gas flow friendly. And put in some farm tiles. We'll do one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. I can't do them here without spilling oil. I could. We'll go ahead and do this. We'll do that temporarily, and then I can put some under here as well. We can dig up that. Alright, I would need water though, so we can put in... Look at all this salt water. I could throw some liquid reservoirs down here. We'll make them out of iron, I guess. We'll see how well this works. Okay, taking a look at a few things. This system is up and running up here. We are pumping oxygen down there. It took them a while to build the wires, so this atmosphere station actually ran really low on oxygen, but we got it going now. This pump we don't need anymore. We can deconstruct that. They're getting these build tasks done slowly. Metal refinery is done. Some of the piping is done. Some of the installation is done, and this down here they haven't gotten to, and I'm sure they won't get to until they get some of the other tasks done up. I do need to replace this critter drop-off made out of gold amalgam right here. Nope, not floating. Right here. There we go. I'm going to give that a high priority just because I don't want this area to get overcrowded. They are happy, so it's not currently overcrowded. That's good. This thing is incubated but not lullabying. I'm going to go ahead and change the time of day. I think maybe they need a different time window to do this one. So we'll see how it goes. Alright. Looks like we've got plenty of hydrogen in here now. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off as soon as it's done. Drilling. Okay. Off and deconstruct. Once that's deconstructed, I'll put a farm tile there and we'll move our leaves work. As I'm sure you're astute, I noticed earlier, I built these farm tiles, not hydroponic tiles. I have since wisened up and replaced them with hydroponic tiles. And that is dormant. I will go ahead and analyze that with priority 6. This thing over here, did they ever get to this? They did not. Priority 7 and they haven't gotten to this, so I'm not sure what's up with that. They can get here just fine. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Puffed Prince. I appreciate you making oxalate. Really? How much is there? That is oxalate, right? Yeah. Oh, neat. Kilogram of oxalate. So the air pressure in here is pretty high then? Yeah, 4K? Holy cow. Oh, because he'll eat anything, right? Polluted oxygen, chlorine, oxygen. And then down here I had a lot of polluted oxygen. So I guess it's just getting pressurized by these deodorizers. I'm not sure if there's an upper limit to when the deodorizers stop deodorizing. So this could end up getting very high amounts of oxygen in here. That's interesting. Yeah, just a puff of oxygen comes out. Some of it should probably end up here when they build these floor tiles. Whenever they eventually get around to that. Okay, for power over here, I'm going to use heavy watt wire. I'm not going to put it on its own transformer or anything. I'm just going to... Whoa. I'm just going to run the heavy watt wire, but I guess I need to go this way. Yeah, they're going to love the decor hit from this. Yeah. Boom. Alright, this is so hot over here that I'm going to need to make steel to replace that pump. But I can't replace that pump because it's so hot over here. So I am going to turn this off. Which is going to stop my water cooling cycle. As you see, I'm actually consuming the water faster than I can cool the water. But that's going to be okay for a bit. Up here, temperature wise. See that radiant pipe really made a big difference. It's 32 degrees. That's pretty good. What I probably should have done, let me go ahead and do this. I made the radiant pipe too soon. I really want it to cool this area, not this area necessarily, so we'll go ahead and insulate that. We do have a full gas reservoir over here, nearly full. This is good. We're backing up on hydrogen. Our desalination hasn't been running for a while because this thing has 40 cycles before it's active again. And I'm going to forget about that. I'm going to switch that door. I'm going to totally forget that this thing is going to turn on and it's going to flood my base. I should put a pump in here instead of here, but life goals, so we'll get to it eventually. Alright, and one thing I noticed too is that I really haven't explored very much to the left and the right. Mostly gone up and down. So I was thinking of doing a little adventure here. We have this door that we built, and we never went past it. So we're just going to go over here and introduce a bunch of slime lung to our dupes, but at the same time, figure out what's off to the left. Now, over here, I have a door. And I have a bunch of hydrogen. Ooh, and I have a glossy Draco. I like glossy Dracos. The problem that I have here is that that's a lot of chlorine, and I don't want to just saturate my base with chlorine, so I'm going to do this thing. Just so that I have more room for that chlorine. Then I'm going to go in here and let it hopefully sink into here and get eaten by this lonely dash of salt vine. These guys have done a great job of getting rid of the chlorine. If you recall, I had a huge chlorine problem into cycle, even as like cycle 150, 180. The carbon dioxide is starting to build up again. Down here we're at 1.5. Down here we're, I'm sorry, 1.1. Yep, and down here we're at 1.3. This is good though. It's keeping those slicksters fed. My slickster count is going to go up here, so it's good. I think I'm gonna plan out this next slickster farm though. Not sure how many tiles this is gonna be. We'll figure it out and then we'll dig up what we need to. This area is so hot. I'm surprised I don't have any. Oh, you know why I don't have any lava slicksters? Molten slicksters, because this thing is set to eat molten larva. Oh, it's not. I thought it was set to forever eat molten larva eggs. Long-haired eggs, yes. Long-haired slicksters are interesting. They eat oxygen, which isn't necessarily something you want in your base. But they eat oxygen, but they make the core value go through the roof. And I could probably use some decor buffs. This place is not looking too snazzy. I've got some things like this abstract sculpture that are not really helping because the quality of them is very, very low. I did not have good skills back in the day. We can actually go ahead and deconstruct those. And we'll rebuild them with skill. Alright, taking a look at our progress here. Our cooling loop here is doing great. It's definitely cooled down over here. I got some ice out of the printing pot a little while back, so we've just thrown down some temperature shift plates just to let them melt into this water tank. Some nice cool water there. So the hydrogen over here is coming in at 18, and it is coming out at 16. Definitely cooling this down for the dust caps. It's actually going to start to get too cool over here, so I might end up diverting this cooling loop into another part of the base. It is, after all, rather toasty up here in the bedroom area, so we might just use this, circulate this, cool it down, and reroute it. Yeah, sounds good. So I have 4 dust caps going now. I did turn off consumables so they can't eat mushrooms, but they can eat fried mushrooms, and I did a perpetual fried mushroom cook over here on the grill. I am currently short on food again. Just taking a look at at eggs. I have 8 larva eggs going, so I'm going to sacrifice some of those larva eggs just for some omelets. Down here, I've got lots of hydrogen. I've got that thing ready to seal off. I'm going to go ahead and put that at priority 7. Let them go ahead and block this off. Starting to cool down already quite a bit down here. Already at 18 degrees. This will be, I think, a very effective cooling loop. I just used regular pipe, not radiant pipe. I don't want it to get that cold down here. My slicksters will start popping out long-haired slicksters, which isn't what I'm looking for. Alright, got that in. This guy down here is doing fantastic. He's still continuing to pump out his natural gas. We have 25 kilograms down here. Down here we're down to 38, which should stay stable until this other one runs out. Let's see what else. Our build over here, our refinery is done. Our metal refinery and our oil refinery is done. We do need to slap down a joint plate right there. And I do want that door to actually work. So, let me take a look at this wiring. This has 610 watts. I can use the same circuit. We'll just go ahead and jump this up like so with a couple wire bridges. I do need to redo this whole power area, but one thing first, I need plastics. Definitely need plastics. Need plastics to get steel. I have a ton of lime. I've been doing all this ranching. So if we take a look at, what is it? Consumable ore. I have 655 kilograms of lime. That's a lot of steel. I just need to get to the point where I can actually make the steel. This area over here is still 114 degrees. This liquid pump overheats at 125, and that's made of gold amalgam. So let's see. Yeah, so it's cooled down enough in here that I can repair this pump. I'm going to go ahead and deconstruct this tile. Probably going to end up trapping some slicksters down there again, unfortunately. Maybe there's enough liquid down there that they're not going to try and go down there. But let's see if we can repair this gold amalgam liquid pump. Yeah, it looks like they're not actually trying to get down there, which is good. What do I got going on here? Does that look like water inside of an airflow tile? It is. How do you get water inside of an airflow tile? Steam. That's how you get water inside of an airflow tile. So I'm going to P7 these pipes here. What happened, I think, is that these insulated pipes, these radiant pipes, I was bringing that water down here and I wanted it to radiate its heat, but now it's actually hotter down here, and it's hot enough that the pipes are breaking maybe. So I want to insulate those pipes so that that water stays water. Yeah, this is a real mess. Let's go ahead and mop all that up. That means I've got water down here, which means I'm going to have to put a filter on that pump. Liquid pump, made of gold amalgam, right there. Let's see, liquid filter. I'm going to have to do that. We'll do it right here. No. I guess we'll do it here. So this is going to go in here. I'll destroy that one. I never did build these bridges. That'll work. So what I'm going to do then with the output is I'm just going to dump it down here. Shouldn't be that much, and it's already full of a bunch of stuff down here. And since I got that new circuit, or new extension wire that I brought down here, I'll go ahead and just wire that up. Give that some priority so I can close this back off again. Get out of there. Thank you. Wow, he built that fast. Some of these dupes are crazy fast. Some are not. Hassan, I'm talking to you. So there's actually no water. Actually, yeah, there is no water down here. Because as soon as it touches this, it turns into steam. Now if I can just get it all mopped up so it stops turning into steam, that'd be great. So this is going to be a problem here, this water, if it is like flirting with... Oh, it's only 70 degrees. That is so weird. I've never seen that before. Water trapped inside of an airflow tile. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, I'm finally getting back to this over here. I'm going to go ahead and dig in here. Set this door to open. And let that chlorine flow out. Over here, I never really followed up. Taking a look at the temperature overlay. A little cooler over there, some slime. It could be just like a slime biome over there. Not sure what's going on with that. I think this accepts slime, right? Yeah, so let's go ahead and sweep all this up. Go ahead and actually dig up more slime. This area should be full of disease. Yeah. Where are you taking that slime? Okay. Is that sweep only? It is. Slime there is kind of out of the way. I'd rather have it up here by my desk caps. But I am not going to worry about that too much for now. Looks like the printing pad went off. Go ahead and choose something here. Well, I'll take the Thimbleweed seed even though I don't really need it. I do have some skills ready, but since my happiness is not doing so great, the morale, I've decided to not skill them up all the way. We'll get to that once I maybe get a more stable food source. I have almost 7,000 kcals, which is enough for a full cycle. What am I looking at? Critter eggs. Not an abundance of eggs. I have an abundance of larva eggs for some reason. These guys are popping out the eggs. They're pretty happy. I do have a lot of slicksters. I have 7, 10 all day. So I guess I should be getting an egg every like 2 eggs a cycle, maybe. Yeah. Oh, you know why I have so many eggs? I had to break this incubator because it was overheating, and I was going to remake it out of something else. But the only thing I can make it out of is aluminum. So overheat temperature is 90, and it's currently like 90 degrees here. So I'm just waiting for it to cool down. I'm actually going to be pumping some of this hot crude oil out of here pretty soon. I say that, but they're not building this stuff, so let's get them to build this stuff. Down here, coming out at 47 degrees. That's not bad. I think this puts out, let's take a look at power. Natural gas generator puts out polluted water. It will be at least 40 degrees or hotter if the building is hotter. So I want to keep these as close to 40 as possible. Yeah, they're not doing bad now at 45. They'll definitely cool down probably below 40 once I get this this loop up and running. I guess they're just busy. Haven't delivered any phosphorus to that thing in a while. But it definitely got cold in there. 18 degrees. This loop over here, that cold water probably helped. But this thing over here is definitely running cold. These things at 5 degrees And they're at 27. So I've got a ways to go before that's too cold for my dust cap. And it looks like I got about 5 of them growing now, which is great. This will definitely help with the food. Fried mushrooms is most of my food right now. So. Alright, I've just come to another decision. I'm going to make a glossy Draco farm. And I'm going to make it over here. So, how that's going to work is I'm going to punch a door in here. We will dig this out. This hydrogen that's in here we will use. We will redirect this cooling loop over here. Cool this area down. Grow mealwood, which encourages glossy Draco growth, with hydrogen, which encourages glossy Draco scale growth. So this is our new ranch. And it'll be part of the main base, so they don't have to go any crazy location to get that ranching done. Have they ever gotten to this? They have not. I'm not sure why. This is priority 7, and they just don't care. I see why now. They can't get there because of where I put this insulated tile. Alright, I'm going to put a tile here. It's weird because this doesn't say unreachable build. I guess maybe it doesn't do that for deconstruction tests. So I don't need this water here. I just need this water here and this water here. So I will just move this tile down. And I should be able to get in there and get that. Clearly it wasn't a priority, or I probably would have figured that out by now. Alright, that's the last pipe I need in order for the oil refinery to run. This thing is pipe blocked because I haven't configured the output yet. We'll go ahead and do insulated pipe, like so. And we're going to say I need steel, but in order to get steel, I'm going to need refined carbon. So, one more thing to build in refinement. A kiln. I'm going to want to build a kiln. Is it considered industrial? Because I think for a room, greenhouse, crops grown within a greenhouse can be attended. It doesn't say no industrial equipment. So I'm going to go ahead and build this kiln. I'm actually going to build 2 of them. In here with my slicksters to try and bring this above 60 degrees. Again, I don't want long-haired slicksters. I'm going to go ahead and mesh tile this again. Hopefully I can do that without trapping some slicksters in there. And we'll try and sweep that up while we're in there. I'm going to temporarily put a bottle emptier here. Actually, yeah, that's fine. And I destroyed a sculpting block there. I'm going to put it back. Seven down here. So I'm still at 10 slicksters. That's fine. This guy incubating. Apparently, I can select that. I need more than, I'm going to give them 30% of a cycle. I really want them to get some more hatches going. We'll go ahead and remove that guy. Alright, food shortage. I have 620 kcals. Those aren't going to be done for a while. Looks like we're doing a couple more larva eggs. And yeah, that's going to be it for now. I really don't want to make any more mush fry, but I will if I have to, dupes. Actually, 1.6 kcals. I'm just going to make some more mush bars. We're flirting with starvation, and it's not something I want. Plants have died. Plants have died? I don't even know where that happened. It wouldn't let me click on it. That's really weird. But it does look like I'm growing 6 dust cap now. So in theory, I am close to being able to double up on Dusk Cat. Let's put that there, which means I have to bump that farm up one actually. How big is that? Oh, this is just the overflow room for dumping my pips. I can do that. We're gonna bump this up like that. Eventually. Okay. What else have we got going here? I wanted to check on lumber. 54,000 lumber. I'm certainly not running low on lumber. Oxygen overlay. We're doing great on oxygen. What have I got over here? I'm going to sweep this just because there's some slime over here. Actually, I'll just sweep this whole thing. Okay. Alright, I got this ready. We're going to put a mechanized airlock there. Yeah, I'm going to want to power this eventually, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll dig this up. Actually, we're going to dig up this. We'll go like that. I'm going to want all this as well. Definitely going to need some scaffolding. Okay. Let's get that door built. Alright, for power for that door, I'm just going to connect to this. Actually, let me take a look. This power line is at almost 4,000 if it was at max. Looks like it's time for another power line. Which means it might be time to tackle this power. I think I'm going to do this power configuration on the next episode. So I'm going to leave that for now and then figure out what we need to do so we can wrap up here. Okay, we've got our hydrogen cooling loop planned out but not built. We've got our polluted water pumping for this new farm. Configured, designed, but not built. I'm going to go ahead and build a farm station down here though, which should turn that area into a farm once they get to this, and this door, which can be left open. I've got a couple of kilns here, which I'm going to use to make carbon for iron. Got those planned out. And I've got a bunch of large sculpting blocks built, which haven't been carved yet. It looks like I've got a printing pod. We'll go ahead and take a look at it real quick. For sure, we'll take some omelets. My dupes are probably getting sick of omelets. And this says we've got insufficient oxygen generation. Not sure why, unless we've got some max pressure thing going on over here. I did put some automation on these two, and I'm going to say if this is below 1,000 run, so these should run less often. I only want them to run when they need to, because really I want this thing to provide most of the oxygen for my base. Now, most of the oxygen for my base coming from these, it's just filtering down. I don't have any pump to vents leading oxygen out of here. And the temperature up here is at 31 degrees, which for this base is actually pretty cool. We did punch into this area over here with all this chlorine, and that chlorine is settling down into this area with the dash of salt vine. I'm going to go ahead and set this to auto, just so that the rest of this chlorine chills out a little bit. And there was some slime over here, and we'll put a deodorizer. These are all things that I expect to get done either off camera or at the beginning of the next recording. Okay, I think that will wrap it up. We do have a good amount of CO2 down here, still sitting at 1.2. even though my ethanol distiller isn't running anymore because these liquid reservoirs are full of ethanol. Yeah, and we have pumped all of our crude oil out. Oh no, this thing never got configured. Succotash. That's not where I want crude oil. We'll have to fix that next time. Holy cow. Oh, I hate it. Alright, these things shouldn't... The way they used to work is if the output was not configured, they did nothing. No liquid would pass through them. Now if you don't configure them before you hook them up, it just passes everything right through them. It's like, you don't want anything, I'm going to send everything out the other way. Oh, that's horrible. Alright, well, we'll clean that up. Okay, well, that's going to be it for now. We've got some big projects brewing, and we will cover those next time on Oxygen Not Included. Till then, this is Nom Nom, signing out.